Hey, hello, and thank you for joining us. It is a great day to be alive here on the Tammie Tubbs Show. To my left, I'm telling you, is one of the most powerful women that I know. You've seen her many times before on the Tammie Tubbs Show, empowering young women, parents as well, of how to be better parents. But I just want to introduce to you once again Miss Elmarie Brooks, who's the coordinator of Emerson Family
Resource Center
in Starkville,
Yes.
Mississippi.
Yes, ma'am.
Miss Brooks, when
Yes.
I look at you, all I see is no is not an answer. Where there's a will, there's a way. Where does that energy and that fire come from?
I would say it comes from above.
Oh, wow.
Anything that I start to do, I ask for God's guidance first. And it just works out.
Wow.
And it's just the successes flows when I go to Him first.
Amen. And you
Yes.
carry that through your programming. You actually have a special program that you work on now with child abuse and neglect. A lot of children in our communities and those that we know that are next door to us are being abused, but sometimes it's never reported.
Yes.
How do you feel about just the issue of child abuse and neglect?
Well, of course, children, they are my heart. So when it comes to an issue with children, I just have to do what I have to do. It doesn't matter how long it takes. It doesn't matter how much energy it takes. I'm just there to be an advocate for children.
Wow.
And so that's the program that I'm working with now. Of course, the Emerson Family Resource Center is a part of Starkville School District, and it is under the Department of Family-Centered Programs with Dr. Joan Butler as our director.
Yeah.
Powerful woman.
Yes, yes.
That seeks all kinds of resources to strengthen families, and not only Starkville, but we serve Winston County, Choctaw County, and Webster counties with some of our programs, but we're primarily in Tippahawk County. And we work with the entire county. Her goal for that department is to strengthen families.
Yeah. How do we do that? Because right now, divorce is at an all-time high. Our younger girls are very promiscuous. And then I look at teenage pregnancy is just skyrocketing. How do we strengthen our families when the fathers are not in the home? What do we do?
One of the number one ways that I think we can strengthen our families is with education. We have got to teach our people. Our being good parents does not come by osmosis.
No.
It does not come where you reach up in the sky and it happens. It does not happen that way. So education, I have learned so much myself in reading. and teaching parenting classes, and involving myself with practical application of these suggested ways of redirecting a child's behavior, and all of the other suggestions that this research has shown. So I think education is key, because our parents, they want to be good parents.
They don't know how.
They don't know how. We generally, as a rule, will parent our children the way our parents parented us. Well, that's not happening now. We cannot always use those same methods of parenting as we've seen in the past.
Yeah.
Lots of things have changed in our society. I guess one of the major influences that if you scar your child, that is a form of abuse, and you stand the risk of actually losing your children.
Wow.
Because, I mean, that is abuse.
Well, if that's the case, I guess I was abused, but thank God for it, you know, because it's biblical. Spare the rod, spoil the child, you know.
And we discuss that passage in the Bible a lot, because I think it's a little misused in that, because the rod was where there was direct those sheep. It wasn't, you know, it never showed where that rod went up and down beating those sheep to get them in line. but it was to guide and direct, and that's what we are to do with our children. Now, where the problem comes in, we don't know what to guide and direct with. So we'll use the clothes hanger, we'll use the belt, we'll use the switch off the trees and all of that, but spare the rod, guiding directing our children. I always like to use this example, and I do in our parenting classes. I said, how would you get your child to stop running inside? And inadvertently, everybody, if I could have 15 people in a group, they'll say, I would tell them to stop running inside.
Yelling.
In a yelling manner. But, you know the easiest way to do that?
Please share.
Walk inside. Because the key is letting your child know what is the correct way to carry yourself inside. And that's what we fail to do. A child may not even think about that. Mama's yelling at me, Dad is yelling at me, Grandma is yelling at me not to run inside. How do I get around inside? I mean, you can think that that's simple. It's simple for you because you've had that experience. 3-year-old may not have had the experience of it, but if you say that often enough, your child will stop running inside.
I'm listening to you, and this verse just keeps coming to me, and I have to share it. Those that are watching Proverbs 22:6, where it says, train up a child. You know, we sometimes think, oh, well, we're going to teach them this. When they get older, they won't fall into the drug life. But even as young as 1 year of age nowadays, you do have to teach them and train them how to do certain behaviors, certain actions. But children watch us. They watch our every move and our every behavior. So sometimes verbally speaking it doesn't help because they're visual. They watch what you do versus what you say.
Exactly. That is so key. In our parenting class, we have a weekly parenting class. It's a parent support group at Emerson that meets every Thursday, 4:30 to 6 o'clock. And we use the evidence-based parenting curriculum, Dr. Michael Popkins.
Am I holding this in my hand?
That's active parenting curriculum. Has just exciting information in there. So what we try to do each week is take one of the methods that he's suggesting in there of a parenting style or a parenting behavior. And this week we are working on mutual respect.
Oh, now that is something that needs to be taught.
And when you're talking about being that role model where children are watching you, the parents are to go home. As of last Thursday, they were to go home, and I had the children and parents together. We have family interactive activities. Everybody brought a covered dish, and we were just sitting down comfortable, and so we talked about this mutual respect. Mom, when you yell at your child, what is that going to teach your child to do to you? Because they are watching you. And children, when you yell, mutual respect is that we honor and respect each other. I'm not going to yell at Tammie, therefore Tammie will not yell at Elmarie. So on this Thursday, which is a couple of days from now, then they will come back and say, I tried this, but I didn't work, and I wasn't patient enough. So we can evaluate, and we keep working on things. We cannot give up the first time. It's a repetition, inclusion of your child. Your child wants to tell you something. Then take that time
and listen.
Get on that child's eye level and just listen to what he has or she has to say.
Wow, we're gonna come right back because I'm just being empowered. Anytime I'm in your presence, I'm learning. And I think sometimes, even though I'm a host, you have to be quiet and just absorb and listen and learn. That's a part of life. You can never learn too much. Stay tuned, we're gonna be right back. I know you're just being empowered and uplifted, but we're gonna learn some more active parenting tips that can help you and your child to better understand one another, but more importantly, to love each other and have peace in the home. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Alpha Insurance was founded 65 years ago by folks who understood the future. They established principles which made Alpha the strong company it is today. Their legacy? Financial strength and fast, effective claim service for you. For 65 years, we've been right there with you. We're looking forward to the next 65.
For a plan built just for you, contact Greg Ott in Tupelo.
Join us at the Starkville Sportsplex Saturday, July 27, 10 a.m. to 12 o'clock noon. It will be a back-to-school bash like never before. Free school supplies, health fair screenings, games and activities, and more importantly, book giveaways and so much more. For more information, do call 662-320-4607. Once again, it's a back-to-school bash that you don't want to miss. Saturday, July 27, 10 a.m. to 12 noon at the Starkville Sportsplex. That's 405 Lynn Lane, sponsored by Emerson Resource Center. See you there. We're back, and I pray that you've just been uplifted, inspired to run on and see what the end's going to be. I want to encourage you on today, and always remember that children are a gift from God. No matter how much they're getting on your nerves or eating all your food, it's the summertime. It's like most of the time the parents are irritated. But guess what? God gave them to you because he knew that you could handle them. But we're going to empower you today and give you some nuggets of how you can learn the different types of parenting styles so that you can understand why you behave the way you behave and how that you can actually make things better in the presence of your own home. What are the different types of parenting styles, Ms. Brooks?
In active parenting, they talk about Dr. Popkins talk about 3 different styles. And the first is a doormat. So when you think about a doormat, that is saying that you let your children walk all over you. That's what you do with the doormat.
My goodness.
You don't have any rules in your home. You don't have any guidelines. Your children don't know when you are going to sit them time out. They have no guidance.
So the children are basically running the home.
Running the home, or nobody's running the home. Everybody's going
free range
amok.
Oh, wow.
So you don't want that style. You don't want to be strictly a doormat for your children. Then there's a dictator. And of course, you know, Hitler was a dictator, and we know what that meant. I tell you what to do, when to do it, how to do it.
Yeah.
That does not work,
Yeah.
because people tend to rebel. When you want to always tell me what to do, Elmarie will rebel. Tammie Tubbs will rebel.
Yes.
If you just don't treat human beings in that manner.
Would you agree, based on some of parents that you've seen, that most of the time we think that we're protecting our children, but we become dictators?
Yes, and the role of a parent is protection and safety of your children. And that does not mean that you tell them sometimes children have to make a mistake in order to learn.
Definitely.
You know, sometimes that happens. But we want to be careful in how, when they make those mistakes, that they learn from them. We don't want it to just be where, you know, they don't gather anything from it. What you're doing is training your children up, and they learn. They are learning. Now, that third style of parenting is what we want to mesh of that doormat, where you have some flexibility. You listen to your children when they have something to say. If they have input to the family rules, for example, you can sit down and you let the children help make the rules. The rule is when we get up in the morning, I love this one, you make your bed up every morning, because my youngest daughter really, every morning, and I don't know where she got it from, because I didn't used to do it. She would get up every morning and make her bed up.
Wow.
Everybody, this is the rule in our house. We all make our beds every morning. We all have chores. That's in that chapter on teaching responsibility.
Wow.
Everybody has a responsibility in the family, and you live up to it. So you want to have a little bit of that doormat style of parenting. You want to have a little bit of that dictator, because when it comes to the safety and the protection of your children, you are not going to run out in the street without, I'm going to hold your hand while we cross the street. You're not going to go out with a guy that I know is using drugs, and it's evident of it.
Yeah.
You know, those are things, you got to be a dictator when that, you are the parent in your home, you've got to be that parent. So you got to have a little that dictator. So you combine those two. And that's the middle road.
Wow.
And that then you become an active parent. And that's where that title of that curriculum comes from.
So
active parenting.
being an active parent, does that mean that I have to be my child's friend?
Absolutely not.
I love how you said that, not.
No, you don't have to be your child. You need to be your child's parent. That is a serious job. Friends, I mean, you can laugh with your child. You should laugh and talk with your child. I love laughing and talking with my girls. We have the best time together. You know, you need that relationship because if you're always serious and I'm the boss kind of attitude, what's the enjoyment in that?
Yeah.
What's the enjoyment in it? So no, you don't have to be your child's friend. But you sure need a relationship with your child.
But in the women that I teach a lot, I see that. They try to be the friend versus the parent, the active parent, which means if I'm your friend, then the child normally sees you as being a sister or a girlfriend more so than a mother, which causes them not to really listen to anything that you say when you're trying to take that authoritative role.
Right, because as we've said, you are training a child. You gonna train a child to be your friend? No, and I know I get a lot of people disagree with me on that point. And at one time, I actually thought that way, that I need to be my child's friend in order to get my child to do whatever. No, I don't have. It's not called a friend. It's more of a parent-child relationship because a friend is a little bit different. You can drop a friend whenever you want to. You can't drop your child when you want to. You can't drop me as a parent when you want to.
It's something.
I'll always be there.
Exactly.
Yes.
It was born to. It's a deck of cards that we have no control over. The environment you're born in and the parents that you actually have.
Right. Exactly.
It's something we don't control. I want to kind of get back into this because you talked about the active parenting role of how as parents things we need to do. We talked about the different styles of parenting. Now I want to talk about the responsibility as far as and discipline with the children, because I see this, the parents become the friend. So now whatever the child desires, they purchase, they buy it for them. And the child has no knowledge whatsoever of what hard work is, work ethics are, or responsibility. They just feel like, oh, mama's going to do that.
Yeah. And you know, the way, and I like to use Dr. Popkins' information because I'm not the expert. I haven't done all of the research. My husband and I raised 4 daughters. That's my experience of, you know,
well, that's a lot of estrogen, so looks like you did a great job.
I did. I'm so proud of my girls. I have to say that I am very proud of them. Because but one of the things, they know their mom. They know their mom. They know the limits. And I think that's important for parents to make sure that your child know you and you know your child.
Yeah.
I know those 4 girls. My husband knows those 4 girls. They know him. That's important. That's the role of a parent. That relationship.
It's important.
So as far as teaching responsibility, it starts early.
How early?
Oh, man. It starts so early that well, actually, let me go back a little bit, because at Emerson, we teach childbirth classes 3 times a year, and they're free childbirth classes, like February, June, and October. And we start having parents reading to their children in the womb, so that when children come out, they are getting that book. That's responsibility. You are taking that child, a 1-year-old can take that book and start trying to read it because it has been exposed to it. You have taught responsibility to that child of taking charge of learning how to read. As parents, we provide resources, like, say, for example, puzzles. And we're going to put, like, puzzles pieces to the left and have the child to put it in. You are teaching a child to be responsible. by doing all of these things, child can get it on their own, pull it in, and do it. Responsibility. Putting their toys away when they finish playing with them. This is growing up as small children now. This is teaching being responsible to go in the workplace, arriving at work on time, and putting your things away when you finish at work, and not allowing anybody else to take charge of your job while you sitting back relaxing.
Wow.
That starts young. That starts
So
early.
we have to start very young, because by the time they're teenagers, it's hard to backtrack and try to teach them responsibility, because by then you're getting a lot of attitude.
Oh. Teens. If you wait till your child is 13 years old and then start trying to teach them how to clean a room, you are going. And then what we want is a happy, healthy family. So if you start early enough, then you don't go through all the drama of the attitudes and the rebellion and life is not perfect. Now, I'm not saying try this method and 100% you're going to have the sweetest little children.
Dear children.
No, they are children and they will try things. We as adults even try some things.
Yes, we do. Until we get caught, and then we throw our hands up. Well, we're going to be right back with Miss Elmarie Brooks from Emerson Resource Center there in Starkville, Mississippi. I know you're just watching in this segment going, I didn't know that. That's why. Well, we're going to come right back and tell you about some programs that you can meet us at so you can even learn even the more. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Join us at the Starkville Sportsplex Saturday, July 27, 10 a.m. to 12 o'clock noon. It will be a back-to-school bash like never before. Free school supplies, health fair screenings, games and activities, and more importantly, book giveaways and so much more. For more information, do call 662-320-4607. Once again, it's a back-to-school bash that you don't want to miss. Saturday, July 27, 10 a.m. to 12 noon at the Starkville Sportsplex. That's 405 Lynn Lane, sponsored by Emerson Resource Center. See you there. Now, Ms. Brooks, Family Center programs there, you all just don't have child and neglect abuse programs. It is a big umbrella.
Yes, as I said, it's the Department of Family-Centered Programs under the Starkville School District. Dr. John Butler is the director, and we are grant funded. The particular grant that I'm working with now is called Project CARE. It is a child abuse prevention grant, and it's funded by the Mississippi Department of Human Services. And our goal is to prevent child abuse, not necessarily work with families that after it has occurred. There are other agencies that are working on that particular aspect of it. We also have preschool with over 120 babies, 6 weeks all the way up to 5 years of age. We have an after school program where families who are working later, we have homework help there for those children. We have the ABE GED program, and we really want to encourage individuals who may be interested in receiving their GED to get that done before December 31st, because currently the test is $75 and it will be going up to $120 starting January 1 of 2014, and it will be online. So that's going to be a big challenge, and we have we mainly serve the adult population of the students, and a lot of them are not computer literate. So we encourage you to take advantage of that program, and we test every second Saturday of the month. So call us on that one. We also have a healthy marriage program, healthy relationship. That's an exciting program because the family starts with healthy relationships, healthy marriages, and then children. And so that's kind of like the second tier of this thing, children, as we've talked about first. But because I love children, we But
ma'am.
anyway, so we have that, and that program actually services Choctaw, Webster, and Oktibbeha County. And not only do they talk about the healthy relationship, they have Financial Peace by Dave Ramsey. If you're ever in debt, just take that 13-week class or 9 to 13-week class, and you learn how to get out of debt, how to save for college funds for your children. That's exciting program.
That's awesome.
And then also we do the job development and job training program.
You all have quite a bit of resources that are available, but I want to focus on July 20th that's coming up. That's something that's very dear to your heart. The Mother-Daughter Retreat. Let's talk.
Oh.
We've given you the active tips, but talk about this one, July 20th.
This was kind of came about with Nikisha Weaver, who is an Mississippi University for Women intern with the Emerson Family Resource Center this summer. And we kind of talked, and one of our goals of our program is to teach the active parenting curriculum that we've talked about. And we've had individuals to come into the resource center trying to find resources to talk to their children about puberty, about bullying, about how to make my child feel good about her or himself.
Yeah.
So we tried to strategize. We call it parenting strategy to get this curriculum over to parents. So we came up with the idea of a mother-daughter retreat.
Okay.
And it's on July 20th.
What's the time? Because time is quickly approaching.
9 till 2.
Lunch and snacks will be served.
A light breakfast, a lunch, and an afternoon snack. And the exciting thing about this program is that we will go through this curriculum with Dr. Popkins, and we have professionals that will do it, and you're one of our guests that will be leading.
I'll be there.
And we also have several people that the name just leaving my mind right now, but that will be there to lead these sessions. And then we have sessions with our young people ages 9 to 12, and we're leaving it kind of open because it will be 3 different groups, and we will organize them in age-appropriate groups.
Awesome, awesome. Well, Ms. Brooks, I'll be there empowering. I know Lolita Stone will be there as well. Some other powerful community leaders taking it by storm, talking about Let's Talk. Get involved. The information is actually on the screen. Our time is up. It's always a pleasure to talk to you. I love you so very much. God bless you, and we'll see you next time on the Tammie Tubbs Show. Until then, be blessed.